All right, we're gonna shoot the steel and some paper targets from longer range. We're gonna be shooting these from about 30
I'm
yards.
gonna go ahead and pace this off for you so you can, I'm gonna count it off and pace it off so you can see exactly how far we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So I was wrong, it's not 30 yards, it's 29 yards.
All right, so let's take a few shots at the steel and see what we can do. Well, we hit the steel, but a little fragment of our, I guess the spall from the round hit my paint can. So now my paint pan exploded. So that's another dumb mistake. So there's a blooper, but you can see we hit the steel at 30 yards. It's not a bad group for 30 yards. I don't know if you can see or not, but that black bag way over there on the table, that's where we're shooting from. That was a good 30 yards. Decent hits. We just ruined our spray paint. That's all right though, I got another can. All right, so got 4 shots here. We're gonna take 4 shots and put them on the cardboard competitive style target that we have down there. See how that goes, see how accurate we can shoot, see if we can put all 4 shots in that 8-inch zero down scoring ring. All right, let's take a walk. So we're trying to put them in this 8-inch circle. Got 3 out of the 8 and I shanked 1. But 3 out of the 4 in the zero down circle is not horrible. Just shanked 1. Not perfect. Like I said, my long range game kind of sucks and that's what I'm working on. Let's try that again. All right, 4 more shots. Let's see if we can clean that up a little bit. Put all 4 out of 4 into the 8-inch circle. Same result, 3 out of 4 again. We got 1, 2, 3 inside that zero down 8-inch scoring ring, and then we got 1 just a little bit out. So 3 out of 4, that's okay. I like to be able to do 4 out of 4. But like I said, this is the weak part of my game, and I'm trying to work on it. Now, when I first got into competitive shooting, I started shooting Glocks because I've always liked Glocks. They work good for me. They're reliable. Yada yada yada. Not going to give that spiel. But those are the guns that I like. Anybody who knows anything about Glocks know that they have really horrible factory sights. So almost everybody that gets a Glock changes the sights. And I'm no different. I change the sights on my guns. When I change the sights and I put a new set of sights on here, I always took the rear sight here and I tried to center it on the slide. And then I would shoot it to make sure that it was hitting where it needed to be. Generally when I did that, it would be between 7 and 10 yards, something like that. That's kind of the average, I guess, distance that you would use a pistol. And at those distances, I was hitting good. I could hit something, like a little 2-inch circle, no problem. Well, shooting competitively for a little while, I started going to state and regional level matches and eventually national level matches where some of the shots are a lot farther. They're 20, 25, 30 yards. And when I started shooting those further distances, I started seeing that I wasn't as accurate as I wanted to be. So I started practicing at those distances. And when I come out here to the range, and in this bay right here, you can shoot a good 25, 30, 35 yards, depending on where you stand. And what we're doing today, we're shooting about 30 yards. I noticed I was hitting way over to the left. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why. And I'm not a big believer in thinking that it's something wrong with the gun. I'm always thinking it's something wrong with the shooter. So I kept trying to change how I'm pressing the trigger, or change my grip, or grip the gun harder, or grip it softer, or whatever. I came up with all these different ideas of what I should do to be accurate at these longer ranges, and I was consistently hitting to the left, and I could not figure out for the life of me what was wrong. So after so many months of trying to figure it out, I said, you know what? Maybe it's the sights. So I got my sight tool, and I took the rear sight and I pushed it over further to the right to see if that made a difference. And I'm going to show you this here real quick. If you can see, I don't know how good that's picking up. It might not be very easy to see on video, but this rear sight is not centered on the slide. It's actually slightly off to the right. Nothing extreme, but it's slightly off to the right. It's not centered. And once I moved the sight and I started shooting, I started drilling targets all day long, like what I just did there with the steel. So it wasn't me, it wasn't my trigger press or my grip or anything else. It was the sights needed to be adjusted. And my concern was, okay, now that I move my sight over, when I go back up to 7 yards, 10 yards, and these closer ranges, which you more typically shoot with a pistol, are my shots going to be hitting to the right? So I pushed up, shots, small targets, little 1 inch, 2 inch targets, and I was still drilling them at that distance. So I guess the moral to the story is, if you're going to shoot longer range with a pistol, I think you should sight the pistol in for probably about 25 yards. If you're going to make any sight adjustment, make it for those longer ranges. When you get up close, you should still be on. That was my experience with the Glocks. I'm using Glocks, and I'm using the, I don't know how well you can see that, I'm using Glocks and Warren tactical fiber optic sights. So with this gun and this sight, that's what I had to do. And I found out that it's with all my guns. I have some Glock 17s, I have a Glock 34, I have a Glock 26, and all these different divisions that I compete in with all these different guns. I have to do the same thing. I have to have the rear sight slightly moved over to the right for me to be able to hit at these longer ranges. And some sights have, usually they're called target sights, where they're very easy for you to adjust the sights. Like you take a little Allen wrench or screwdriver and you can adjust the sights. Most sights, though, like the ones I have here, and most sights that people have, I think they go to a gun store and say, hey, I want to buy these sights, can you put it on this gun? The gun store puts the sights on it for them, and that's kind of the end of it. They never go any further than that. I think it's a good investment depending on how much you shoot. Definitely if you're a competitive shooter, and especially if you only have one gun like I do, one style of gun that you like, pick up a sight tool, a sight adjustment tool, where you can adjust these type of sights and really get the gun dialed in the way you want it to be dialed in. And not just put them center of the slide and hope for the best. Like, you might have to just have your sight off a little to the right, off a little to the left, just like I did. And of course my phone is going off, interrupting this video.